The streetlights hummed, casting long, eerie shadows down the empty road. It was well past midnight, and the last bus should have left hours ago. I was trudging home, my backpack feeling heavier with each step, when I saw it. A bus, old and rickety, pulled up to the stop with a sigh of hydraulics. The weird thing was, there was no one in the driver's seat. The doors hissed open, inviting me into the dim, flickering light inside. I hesitated. My feet ached, and the thought of a long walk home was miserable. Shrugging off the strangeness, I climbed aboard. The air inside was cold, unnaturally so, and smelled faintly of dust and something metallic, like old pennies. The bus lurched forward, moving with a jerky, unnatural rhythm. I was the only living soul on board, or so I thought. As my eyes adjusted to the gloom, I began to make out other figures. They sat perfectly still, their faces pale and gaunt, staring straight ahead with vacant, hollow eyes. Their clothes were from different eras: a woman in a flapper dress, a man in a greaser jacket, a kid with a newsboy cap. None of them moved. None of them blinked. A chill that had nothing to do with the temperature crawled up my spine. I tried to tell myself they were just tired, maybe a little strange, but the silence was deafening, broken only by the rattle of the bus. I tried to distract myself, looking out the window, but the view was just a blur of blackness. We weren't following any route I recognized. Panic started to bubble in my chest. I wanted off. I scrambled toward the front, my heart hammering against my ribs. The driver's seat was empty, the wheel turning on its own. I fumbled for the stop request cord, pulling it frantically, but there was no sound. The bus just kept rattling on, deeper into the unknown darkness. The other passengers remained frozen, their dead eyes fixed forward. It felt like I was trapped in a moving coffin, surrounded by ghosts. I spun around, desperate, and my eyes locked with a figure in the back. It was a boy, about my age, dressed in a faded hoodie just like mine. But his face was ashen, his eyes sunken and dark. He looked like he'd been drained of all life. He slowly lifted a hand, pointing a trembling finger not at me, but at the empty driver's seat. He opened his mouth, and a dry, raspy whisper filled the bus, a sound like dead leaves skittering across pavement. "You're late," he croaked. The words hung in the frigid air, and a horrifying realization washed over me. This wasn't just a ride. It was a sentence. The bus finally slowed, screeching to a halt in front of a desolate, fog-shrouded bus stop that looked identical to the one where I had boarded. The doors hissed open. The other passengers didn't move, but I knew this was my stop. A force I couldn't explain compelled me to my feet. As I stepped off the bus, a wave of exhaustion hit me, so hard my knees buckled. I turned to watch it pull away, its red taillights disappearing into the thick fog. Then I saw him, a kid, walking down the road, looking tired, just like I had been. As the bus pulled up to him, its doors opening, I felt a familiar, cold dread. I tried to scream, to warn him, but no sound came out. I could only stand there, a silent spectator, as he climbed aboard. I was the new ghost at the bus stop, doomed to wait and watch, forever. And as the mist swirled around me, I knew I was just waiting for the next person who was running late.